In this skill lesson, we are learning about context clues and then applying this skill to Franz Kafka's The Refusal. But let's start with a couple of questions. First, what are context clues? And more specifically, what are the 5 different types of context clues? If you go back to tab 1 and read the introduction, you'll find the answers. Context clues are hints in the surrounding text that a reader can use to infer the meaning of unfamiliar words. If you're not familiar with the word infer, it means to determine something that is not directly stated by using evidence and reasoning. And here are the 5 types of context clues. Definition. When the author explains what the word means either right before or right after the word appears. This is usually set off from the word with commas. Example. When the author provides one or more examples in the text that help you figure out what the word means. Comparison. When the author gives clues about the word's meaning by comparing it to something else in the text. Contrast. When the author gives you a clue on a word's meaning based on how unlike it is from something else in the text. And finally, cause and effect. When the author uses the word as a result of something else that has happened in the text. The truth is, we use context clues every day to figure things out and make inferences. When was the last time that your friend said or texted something to you, but you had to use context clues to sort of figure out what they really meant? It could either be their tone or the way that they type their text, or when was the last time that your teacher used a word that you didn't know, but you think that you still understood what he or she meant based on the context of what they were talking about? This is using context clues. And now let's go over our learning objective and tasks for this skill lesson. Our objective is to be able to use context clues such as definition, analogy, and examples to clarify the meaning of words. And here are your tasks. If you haven't already, watch the cheesy concept definition video on tab 1. Yes, I know it's cringe, but it does a pretty good job of modeling using context clues. And then review the introduction beneath the video. Next, complete the vocabulary drag and drop activity on tab 2, just to make sure that you're familiar with all the terms that are used in this skill lesson. Next, read the model page. The top half of the page is instructions about the skill, and the bottom half of the page is a student example that applies this skill to the refusal. I think this part is particularly helpful in seeing this skill in action. Finally, when you feel that you understood the skill, then complete the short quiz on the Your Turn tab and check your own results. This won't affect your grade, but it's a good way for you to know whether or not you're grasping this concept. And that's about it. Hopefully this is pretty straightforward, but let me know if you get confused or if you need my help.